ladies and gentlemen. Anyone who says this is like riding a bicycle has never fallen on the crossbar of one properly.
Having flashbacks now.
Welcome back.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, once again, you have returned to the dark, strange, sinister, and uncanny world of Sigil Confidential. So, real quick, I'm going to knock these out. Do you like coffee? Everybody likes coffee. If you don't like coffee, you're not a red-blooded American, probably. Although that doesn't really work if you're from elsewhere. But you get the point. There's something deeply wrong with you.
If you don't like coffee, how did you do that? It's easily the most common addiction on Earth right now.
It's true. It's needed. Here I am on a caffeine fast saying this too. But yes, definitely check out Found Familiar Coffee. It is the greatest gaming-related coffee in the universe, and if you use code Featherfall at checkout, you can get 10% off. And then, of course, I have to type it out. Let's not forget about our other sponsor, Skull Splitter Dice, the big metal math rocks that will guide you to victory in every RPG you play with them. Not to mention, they'll make you very, very popular at conventions, gaming stores, and probably with your ninja outfit, because I hear they actually work very well as caltrops. But yeah, once again, code Featherfall at checkout, save 10% on a new set of dice. Without much further ado, would you like to do the takeaway there, Pro?
Well, obviously, last time on Sigil Confidential, the crew roused from their rest after turning on the air pumps and made their way back to the initial corridor. They knew they wanted to power on the Haru specs, but were unsure of where to go next. Saren suggested verifying the operational health of the engine and the reactor to ensure it wouldn't vaporize everyone. With one room off the corridor being the air pumps and the other collapsed in, the crew made their way into the last unexplored room, with desks lining the wall that had broken panels and buttons with letters on them. A window on one side allowed visibility to a large open space on the other side with a significant drop. After some tinkering, Ratt and Istu got the systems up and running again, and Saren attempted to contact different areas of the ship but got no responses in return. She eventually made it to the last console in the room, which illuminated the space beyond the window, revealing an overgrown forest. Unless the crew wanted to go crawling through the air ducts, making their way through the forest was the only way to get deeper into the ship. Draken offered to give everyone the ability to fly, and off they flew above the wild yonder. Other than being accosted by fairy dragons, their trip was uneventful, and they landed in front of a blown-out hole in a far wall with no vegetation around it. The area was strangely warmer than the area they came from, and as they landed, the ghost became sick immediately. Ratt became very concerned over a dangerous energy field in the area, so they immediately flew away. Saren mentioned at one point there were buildings with access hatches in the floor scattered throughout the area, and they landed in an area of high grass to begin looking for one. It wasn't long before they were able to find what looked like a lump just inside the tree line, and parting the dewberry vines revealed a metal dome with a door that followed its contour. Saren opened it, and everyone made their way inside and down the access hatch. They stepped over a spear trap at the base of the ladder and landed in the muck. What dangers await the crew deeper within the Haru specs? Find out starting right now on Sigil Confidential, the Uncanny Odyssey.
Very good. Haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute there.
It has been. And welcome, Master Mess. Good to have you. So, we are all here. You guys picked through the muck, got some neat new toys.
Find out Bryn had radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a thing. Slightly
Could be
scary
better.
thing. But you hadn't really done much further than that, if I remember correctly. Like,
No.
moved.
We were waiting for Cinder to dig in the muck and get his little surprise.
That's right.
If he'll even join us tonight.
Well, we'll retroactively do that. I still have the list and everything, so no worries there. But I have this. Boom, boom, boom. So the hallway beyond the muck at the bottom of the pile here stretches on. The air here is damp, and it smells like a stagnant pond that somebody's just recently skipped a stone across, disturbing the water and releasing the lovely vapors from below. There's a lot of moisture in the air, but yeah, the hallway stretches on beyond.
Well, it smells no worse than Sigil after a rain.
A bit better, actually.
It's got a certain dampness to it.
That's fair. So knowing what you know now, from the previous session, of course, what would you guys like to do?
Well, we were expecting some variety of resistance down here. We did seem to run into some primitive traps.
Mm-hmm.
We've been informed that there are, you know, big ol' air quotes on this one, primitive sentient life forms here. Primitive being probably us also. I think most of us would qualify.
Oh, that's right. The
By
outs-
Saren's definition, yeah.
They were keeping a zoo, right? A zoo of lower life forms.
Yeah.
And that seems to... Jurassic Park broke containment.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe not dinosaurs, but the general theme is Jurassic Park broke containment.
Yeah. I mean, could be.
Supposedly.
Maybe.
Could be
Presumably.
dinosaurs.
I'm not saying dinosaurs. All right.
Seems we'd best proceed. Does the muck continue also?
No, the muck is mainly just what's spilled out over time. Like, it wasn't sealed completely.
Mm.
So it's just been kind of draining little bit by little bit for probably an extended period of time. The rest of the hallway, as pictured, is actually fairly clean.
Okay.
All right. Well, then, I think...
You've still got to keep an eye out for traps. If you're going to trap the ladder, why are you going to stop there, really?
I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm still going to proceed at half speed while
Okay.
searching, so I don't take a penalty.
Okay.
Will activate my sunglasses. Boop boop.
Are these your spiffy new sunglasses?
Yes, we'll go 30-foot thermal and infravision.
Okay. They hum to life.
Doo-doo.
Bryn will prestidigitation herself and say something, didn't we mention something about getting me to a med bay to get rid of this radiation?
What's radiation?
So
Bad
yeah.
rocks.
Oh, is that
That's the bad rocks.
is that the
I don't
bougie name for
sodding.
Danger Rock?
Danger.
I don't sodding know. That was what was on the readout of the. And Bryn holds up the gadget that she found in the muck. This.
Yeah, we definitely need to keep an eye out for that as we go. That's important.
Just picturing her holding it with 2 fingers, like this thing.
She cleaned it off, remember?
No, just the nature of the thing itself.
Oh, yeah.
this thing.
If that thing can sense danger, Rock, maybe you should lead. Keep it pointed forward, ahead of us.
I don't know if it can sense danger, Rock, necessarily. It apparently has a readout of a lot of different information about your own bodily health. Is that right, Saren?
It's a medical scanner. Do you guys... what would be a term you would understand? Physician? Tool? Witch doctor? Device? It won't do what you're asking.
How did your scientists manage to put a cleric in a box?
I mean, we've seen clerics in boxes. They're usually mad about it, though.
You're actually not wrong at all. You really have.
I remember.
Yes. All right. So,
But let's stalk forward.
all right.
Is it investigation or perception to spot traps as you move? I always forget.
Perception, unless you're actively poking around as you go.
There's nothing really to poke around in since there's no muck on the floor, so I'm gonna go with perception.
Okay. Look at that. Nice. Yep. Watts was the cleric in a box.
Mhm.
There was intended to be a heart after that, but Roll20 said no.
Oh.
It has particular feelings about the less than symbol.
Yeah, no kidding.
So do it this way.
Hey, he's powerful.
Look at that. So,
Codes.
alt codes.
3.
So, you begin to make your way down the corridor. Once again, like the damp, humid air, the smell of rotting vegetation kind of clinging to everything as you go. You're making time very slowly. For those of you who aren't naturally stealthy, it sounds like every footstep kind of echoes down the hallway much louder than you're comfortable with. And after you get about 15 feet, you feel this tremor beneath your feet. This shaking, and looking around, it's the entire hallway, and it's kind of like growing. You can kind of hear this rising hum underneath everything. Saren looks around confused and nervous.
I shoulder the accelerator.
I'm not sure that's the sort of problem you can shoot, Ratt. That seems more like a ship tearing itself apart sort of thing.
Well, we tried it your way. Now we're gonna try it the fun way.
Suit yourself. It's your gun.
Alright. It continues to grow and escalate. The shaking gets worse. Debris kind of rains down. Dust kicks up. The smell gets worse. And you're kind of having to brace yourselves against the walls to keep your footing as the shaking gets worse and worse and worse. The tremor just, the humming gets louder and louder, and you're kind of having to shout to talk to one another at this point.
I remain sanguine on this one. This is in a category above even wizard shit. Where if this is what's gonna kill me, there is very much nothing I can do about that.
Okay. Everybody kind of doing the same, just waiting it out.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what we're dealing with here.
Okay. Well, in that case, about 10-15 seconds, though it feels much longer, passes, and the tremors lessen and then die down to nothing. And once again, you're just in the silent hallway. The dust settles, and it's almost like nothing happened. Saren still looks nervous and confused. She kind of taps on the little thing on her wrist that lights up.
What in the multiverse was that?
It felt like a Sigil quake, but bigger.
She says that was the reactor. It's not doing good.
Yeah, that's what was down the other hole, right?
Yeah, the one we don't want to go directly to, at least, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, I didn't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of this radiation stuff either. So let's see if we can come up on that kind of sideways.
All right. We just have to get through the algae farms.
That sounds fine. Love a good farm.
Let's tarry forward then.
All right. So you make your way further down the hallway to the broken door. There's a door at the very end. It's one of the ones that would normally slide open and shut, but it's been completely torn off its track and ripped away into the interior. Beyond, the smell is almost overpowering. It's pretty potent. Pretty potent.
Not sure how much of an improvement over Sigil we are now.
Let's see.
Oh well.
We're not.
But the
Gotta
hall
start
continues
levering the
on. Sorry. No, it's open. The hall continues on into a partially submerged room with green growth all around and various strange machinery you don't recognize. Like I said, the smell is overwhelming. The humidity is off the charts.
Oh, that's gonna soak right into the boots.
Yeah, I can't really see how deep it goes. If it looks like there's some steps down that go into it.
You know my favorite spell?
What might that be?
Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
It's the only one I bothered to remember the name of. I love that thing. And I just wade down in.
All right. So it actually goes up to about your waist.
Oh, it's slimy.
It is very slimy.
Oh, this is going to be difficult to move through all my layers of fabric here. And Bryn will step in.
All right, sploosh.
All right, so I've seen how far up this goes on my tall friends. I'm going to
Hit the
fly
jets.
Okay.
and skim the surface.
All right.
Well, maybe not fly. I'm gonna parkour across these machines.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, and we're gonna use the flying boots to facilitate said parkouring across the.
So your
We're
boots
doing
jumping.
this with style. Yeah.
How do those boots work?
Is flying boots of flying?
So there's no
Winged
like.
boots?
Okay. Just making sure.
Winged boots.
All right. What about the rest of you?
I'm gonna fly.
Okay.
Just like over it.
All right. Is two. What about you?
Loading. Loading.
You're good. It's a muck-drenched room.
Swear to God, my character sheet.
Mucky muck.
I don't. Ooh, okay. Yeah. This feels like the move. Okay.
Alter self. Uh-oh. You gonna turn into a crocodile?
I was looking to see if there's any winged creatures in this listing, but there aren't, so I'm just gonna grow gills and swim.
Okay. Are you actually diving in? It's only about waist deep, so.
I like to think that as Istu walks into the water, they just kind of, their scales kind of, for lack of a better term, they fluff out, like,
Mhm.
kind of like one of those lizards that have like a collar, and it goes,
Okay.
the scales kind of vent outward, and you can kind of see gills under them, which is really weird, and on a level that's like almost creepy because they're in their arms, they're in their hips, they're like everywhere. And it's like maybe this was a mistake because this water, it tastes bad.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Yanti define bad.
Yeah, fair. It smells worse than it tastes.
So we're just vibing and being weird.
All right.
Just getting weird with it.
Moving through. Okay. So, obviously the movement is disturbing the water very, very much. You guys trucking through, you're waist deep, so you're wading. Your movement speed is reduced, obviously, aside from Ratt and Draken, who are kind of aerial. Ratt, every time you land on one of those pieces of machinery, like pieces of it break off and splash into the water, and you're kind of blowing algae and plant matter around as you leap from place to place, and Drake and your wings are kind of doing the same thing, kind of splashing water and moving plants around, kicking up an even worse smell. Are you still searching as you go, or? Because I think that'll put you at like a quarter speed.
Searching as in for objects under the water? Because no.
Okay. Not looking for traps and all that.
Absolutely still looking for traps, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Then yes.
I suppose scan the.
I mean, this is where
Water.
you'd put them. You bury them in the water.
I'll scan the water areas with thermal and infravision.
Okay.
Just as
Everything in here, aside from your teammates, with rare exception, is more or less giving off that kind of cool, watery vibe. So you're not seeing any extra heat signatures.
Okay. I tried. It's for safety.
Yeah, no worries at all. All right. Jimmy, or whoever, I guess. You guys are all working together. I'll let you guys make your perception rolls, optional as always. 22. 17. Nice. So, moving through, about the halfway point, you kind of stop short, Jimmy, as your eyes just barely in the light make out a humanoid shape in the water ahead of you, just barely submerged below the surface, so you almost missed it. Just kind of floating just below the surface.
I freeze up. How far away is it?
About 5 feet.
Okay, so I have blind sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be able to detect motion, breathing, movement, that sort of thing.
You don't detect any movement.
I hold my hand up behind me to gesture everyone to stop. I point at the figure. I reach in with my sword to flip it over, draw it up to the top.
Okay.
Not an attack, just kind of poking.
Are you trying to bring it up to break the surface to look at it?
Yes, if possible.
Okay. Black Jammer kind of mumbles and grumbles as he goes into the water.
Oh, come on, I know you don't have a nose.
You pull it up, and what you pull up is one of those strange suits that the crew wore, face down in the water, floating. It's much heavier than just a suit would be, though. It doesn't move. The limbs are kind of almost like T-posed, and they barely move as they come up.
Yeah, that thing's probably just full of this muck. I'll rotate the body.
Okay. You slowly turn the body over, and it's wearing a helmet with a visor that's pulled down as it comes across.
Show _ donated $20. Roll a D whatever for the players and give one a boon on me smile.
Sweet, thank you, Shun, for the $20 donation.
Hey,
Oh ho.
For the $20 donation, that's a good one. We're going to put that into effect here. All right. So you roll it over. Like I said, the face mask is down. The inside is just completely filled with this mucky water, and all you can see is what appears to be the tip of a nose barely brushing against the visor from within, letting you know that there is a body or something inside there. And thanks to Shun's roll there, you also see, carefully holstered in a chest holster, what appears to be a blaster pistol secured to the front of the suit.
I'm just gonna take that in case you decide to come back to unlife. Just,
You don't need that.
you don't need that. Doop. It's a bit too big of a ship to go around giving everybody a decent burial. But, you know, we can at least get you out of the water. I'm just going to move to haul the body up over one of these sort of tables or bays that appear to be lining the side of the room.
Okay. Tell me how you're doing that.
It hasn't moved in response to me adjusting it several times. I'm going to holster Blackjammer and just grab it under the arms.
Okay. So you grab it under the arms and lift up?
Yeah.
All right. As you do, muck and disgusting filth just immediately pours out of the face mask all over you.
Yep.
Exposing a horribly bloated, waxy looking corpse inside. A lot of what came out of that, you're thinking, was not just mucky water.
Oh.
I don't have to breathe if I don't want to, and, you know, to be fair, I've seen worse. I've seen worse today.
This is true.
Come on, let's get you over here.
Well, yesterday, if you're talking about the flesh.
It's the Cronenbergian horror. Welcome back, Mastimus.
The meat man. All right. So yeah, you managed to pull him off. He doesn't come to life or attack you or anything. It just kind of gets you really gross and dirty.
Yep.
But he's out of the way.
Well, let's get out of here.
All right. All right. So nothing else happens. You make it to the far end of the room. There is a sealed door there. The control panel next to it, I'm just going to call it a control panel for now because it's just easier than describing it every time you see one, has been ripped away from the wall. Long tangle of like metal threads and bits of brightly colored lining around them, kind of hanging out.
Yeah, nah. I'm in the corpse moving business. I think you all can handle this sort of thing.
Ratt, is there anything you can do about this one?
Maybe? It looks pretty shot. I'll see what I can do.
All right. What are you trying to do, Ratt?
Connect.
You trying to repair it?
Try to put it back together, maybe, or at least trigger it to like failsafe open.
Okay. Let's do your tools roll. Tinker. Oh, look at that. 32. Whew. Okay. So yeah, you get your tools out. Are you settling in the water to work?
I'd rather not, but if I have to.
Yeah, you have to get at least about knee deep.
Okay.
To get a good angle to get in there. But yeah, you get in there. You guys see some sparks fly. He kind of jumps back a couple times, gets back in there, and starts yanking things out, and stuffing things back in, twisting things here. And every now and then he'll pinch something and be like, "Oh, yeah, that works." And after about 10 minutes or so, the door kind of goes and slides about halfway open. Unfortunately, the water doesn't pour through and empty out. It looks like the other side's just about as full.
Oh gods, I guess
It's
we're
a slight improvement, at least.
we're dealing with wading through even more water, though. I was hoping we'd be out of this.
Are we stepping through the open portal?
Yep, I mean, it's our way forward.
Okay. So,
Hey, Jimmy, can I see that thing you picked up off the corpse?
Ah, yeah. I'm holding the blaster by like the middle of it. Not my particular implement of death. Here you go.
this is a terrible club.
Yeah, it'd be decent, but I think it'd probably fall apart eventually.
So,
So, real quick, I think Bryn's had enough of the smell coming off of Jimmy from the corpse that he picked up, so she's just going to prestidigitation his top half where he got dirty.
no worries. No worries. So the next section opens up into a longer, smaller, like thinner corridor-like room. It goes off. You can't really see how far because of the there's a mist kind of clinging to the air, but once again there's a lot of algae and mold and growth inside. There's a lot of damage in this room, but once again that kind of clear sheen of mucky water just wades all the way through it. As you can see, about halfway through the room, standing amongst the muck and completely covered in it themselves, appears to be a humanoid figure once again in one of those suits. They're not moving, nor are they putting off any heat.
Just
I
kinda-
still approach cautiously with
Kind of
my
standing there, huh?
Just standing there.
accelerator shouldered.
Okay.
It is a bit suspicious.
To be still standing, yes.
Ratt and Draken are the most maneuverable in this situation. They take point.
Okay. How are we proceeding, point people?
I'm gonna take a high ground position, float up kind of near the ceiling,
Okay.
and circle around. Try and get a view on its front.
it's wearing one of those helmets with the face shield again. Also appears to have some type of very complex looking backpack, like with hoses and tubes coming out of it.
Does it look like that maybe what's keeping it upright?
It's half buried in like a large portion of the growth, like the algae and mold and whatnot that's there. And its entire upper body is covered with like a sheet of algae that's literally growing on the surface of this thing.
Most peculiar. A standing dead. Have you ever seen a dead standing?
I mean,
look
yes, technically.
Most of the time.
I mean, I guess they're usually blown to bits when I'm done with them. So I don't. They're like them standing up, just like still statue-like. That's unusual to me.
It
Pretty
still
heavy
looks from Ratt to Jimmy, back to Ratt.
Listen, it's not the standing that's impressive. It's the walking around.
Fair. Uh-oh.
I think the talking's pretty good too, but I mean, I've always got that trick.
So, Draken, what about you? You were flying point 2. What are you doing?
Anyone object to me just shooting it? Because that's what I want to do. I want to shoot it from over there. Does anyone object to me hitting it?
I mean, it'll probably get everywhere. That might be a bit of a problem for you, but
And we don't exactly know what's in that strange thing on its back. Could be something inside of it that wouldn't be very good for us.
yeah, nah. Let's have a look at it first, because I mean, trust me, you guys have to breathe and all that. It's not going to be good for you.
And I don't think I need to be taking in any more dangerous auras after getting irradiated. Is that the word? I keep forgetting.
Sounds right.
Irradiated.
That can't be a word.
Irradiated.
That sounds better.
Fine. And I am going to use this and just try to move it.
Wait, what is this? Telekinesis.
Telekinesis.
You're gonna try to move it?
Yeah, just try to move it. See what happens. Like, shove it a little.
Like push it over or lift it up?
Lift it up and just kind of keep moving it.
Alright.
See if it moves.
You lift it up. It starts tearing away from the bed of algae that's kind of supporting it. And these very limp kind of legs kind of hang out from below it. It's almost like there's barely anything in that part of the suit.
Holy shit, you guys, it moved.
All right, I'm rapidly changing my mind about the whole shooting it thing.
I'm sorry, Ghost. I had to. I'm borrowing from you. I'm sorry. I'm the one doing this. I'm moving you guys. It's okay.
Bryn just chuckles.
Oh, you prankster.
I mean, telekinesis is like verbal somatic components, so like unless Draken was like, you know, using some meta magic to keep that all quiet, then
Nope. Have no idea why anyone thought it was anything else than Draken doing it, but
Bryn's
gonna go with it.
Bryn's just smiling and chuckling.
It is Draken, after all. Quiet's not his thing.
So
Alright.
it looks like this one is dead. Shake, shake, shake. Dead.
That's for the best.
Are you shaking it?
Yes, that was me shaking it gently. Not like whipping it around, but just kind of giving it a shake when I said that. With shake, shake.
Oh, just maraca.
Alright. You shake it gently. The helmet tumbles off, and a spew comes out of it, like a small geyser.
What do I need to roll to intercept that?
Intercept.
From...
What are you trying to intercept it from? Right now, Rat's the only one that it's in danger of hitting.
Oh, okay.
What?
So I guess the body is facing away from Draken then?
Yeah, he was using telekinesis to move it, so.
Okay.
Yeah, Rat, give me a dex save to avoid getting splattered by the spew.
Oh, I didn't think Ratt was that close.
He's up in the air in front of it, remember?
Can I toss like a mage hand across the room to like catch the sprite?
I don't know if you could be fast enough in this case. That would be funny,
yeah.
though. We can say you
I'd
try.
be willing to try. Yeah,
We can say you try. Are you trying your flash of genius there?
Yep.
Okay. You're adding your intelligence mod to the roll, is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What does that bring it to?
12.
12? Oh, that was the 12.
Or 17, sorry.
Okay. I was about to say. You get a little bit on your face. You kind of dodge out of the way and catch the spray.
Ew. 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 Saren, I got some of your people on me.
She's in the back looking kind of pale and horrified at everything that's going on right now.
Ew. Gross. Slap my wrist. Like, what is that? Like a fling my, like, scrape it off my brow and like fling my hand. Get off of me. Ew. Ugh, it's everywhere.
Bryn will snap a prestidigitation Rat's way too.
All right.
Thank you. Ah,
Which it cleans you, Rat, but
the smell, like, ugh.
it's in your. You feel like it's in your nose, and in your mouth, and your ears.
Oh, my sinuses.
It's bugging you. You might even sneeze every now and then. A nice little gnomish sneeze, which probably sounds like a bellow of thunder. But yeah, the helmet topples down, the spew kind of dies down, and the suit, the body in the suit, kind of slumps forward a little bit. Draken,
Well, in that case, I'm gonna bring it to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at its back.
You want to look at the back, the pack?
Yes, that thing that's attached to the backpack. Weird thing.
All right. It's made of some material you don't recognize. It's vaguely rectangular shaped, with a bunch of hoses coming out of the side and the top that looks like they had connected to parts of the suit and the helmet at one time. They are filled with muck. The hoses are.
I'm gonna move it like as much out of our way as possible and just slowly set it down.
Okay. All right.
And then I'm going to move forward.
Still flying.
Slowly. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not landing in that.
Once again, you are kicking up all kinds of water and muck and everything with your wings.
Now that I'm letting telekinesis go, I am going to shift. I am going to actually cast Fly on myself and pull the wings in so that I am not sending water flying over.
I imagine everyone is very appreciative of that.
Yep.
Okay.
And we move forward.
All right. Steadily waiting on those of you who are.
Yes.
All right.
Seems fun. Are there any branching doors off of these corridors, by chance?
None that you can see.
Then onwards.
All right. So you make your way down through the mucky muck room, into the mist beyond, which, as I mentioned, does obscure your vision slightly. As you do, down beyond, you do see what appears to be another opening, another doorway in the distance. You're at about the halfway point at this point.
Mm-hmm. No trap.
No, but if you'd like, you can do some perception rolls for me.
All right. Rogues is so busted, man.
Yeah.
Those are some good rolls.
Jeez. Yep.
Okay. About 10 feet away from that halfway point, Jimmy, I assume you're kind of in the lead as far as the walkers go.
Yeah, that's usually it.
You're moving very gingerly, very carefully, and you feel something sharp kind of press against the bottom of your boot, and
Yep.
a space around it. Feeling around with your toe, I assume, unless you want to reach your hand down there.
I said, let me just draw that foot back and then kind of poke gently.
Okay. It appears to be a trap, like punji sticks under the water.
Ah, all right. Found him. Found the trap. Not very inventive, but I mean, it does work.
Is there any way around this one?
Depends on how careful you step, I guess.
It appears to stretch beyond your reach. Obviously, you can't really see it, but
Yeah, I'm just kind of stretching the foot out.
yeah, it
poking
goes.
at it, saying,
It goes wall to wall, but stretches beyond your reach.
yeah, no, I don't really think so. We're gonna have to go over or work out something. I look from side to side. What sort of materials do we have here to work with?
There is piping along the walls. You could potentially kind of shimmy along. You're not sure if the vegetation would be strong enough to support you. You could always just try to swim.
That sounds like it'll run into even more interesting problems. No, it's got the ground covered here for a ways. I'm not really sure how far exactly. I think I'm gonna climb myself.
Okay. Using the piping.
Yes.
Bryn will follow along likewise, and as she and Jimmy get out of the water, she is going to prestidigitation the both of them to get them clean and also get the water off.
All right.
It's good thinking. And comfortable.
Yeah, because being waterlogged while trying to, like, move like that, we don't need that extra weight.
Alright. So you're shimmying along the conduit along the wall, basically. Jimmy in the lead. Who's next?
Bryn next.
Bryn. Alright. Followed by Istu. if Is2 is doing the same.
Yep.
Okay. Are you all going at the same time?
I would suggest fewer so we don't load too much weight on these conduits.
All right.
I don't know, when I first start trying to climb up and shimmy across, I guess I test it. How much weight does it feel like it'll hold?
Not a lot. It's a little rickety, very old, and there is a lot of damage in here.
I caution the rest of the party to continue across one at a time and maybe wait until everybody clears to the other side before you start.
Okay.
Bryn will nod. I assume there's one set of conduits on each side, so we can kind of go like 2 at a time, 1 on each wall.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So, start, Jimmy. Give me a Dex check. You can use athletics if you'd prefer.
Acrobatics?
No, let's do athletics because you're physically moving.
You got it.
Okay, that's fine. Bryn, same thing.
So, you really want something with our strength mod here?
It's an athletics check. It's just holding on, and it's a very low DC. This isn't difficult.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're fine. You're fine. And Is2, one for you as well, please.
Hey, look at the athlete over here.
Is2, showing off. Is2 kind of lands, brushes themselves off, and is like, "What?"
You guys can't walk on walls. What's wrong with you? What good are those legs if you can't walk on walls?
But yeah,
I was just gonna offer to carry someone and just like do ferry service.
no, everybody makes it safely to the other side of the trap.
I have my hand on my blaster. Sorry, not the blaster. My hand cannon. It's the other. Yep.
Got so many weapons, not sure what to do. All right. So the rest of the trek is fairly uneventful, no problem. So you make your way to the portal on the other side, which is already open.
Oh, good.
And
The door's open, guys.
More water on the other side, I'm assuming.
This actually steps down. There's water running down the steps. This is a much bigger chamber. And it appears to be potentially much deeper.
All right, you guys
Bryn
wait here.
groans at this.
You guys wait here. Draken, come with me. Scout ahead.
I have a quick question.
What's that?
Okay.
Is Rat still being bothered by the sensation of the stuff that was ejected onto
if-
him?
It's like in my sinus now. This is never going away.
Yes, it is still bothering.
Someday I'll
him.
just forget about it, and then a couple of years later I'll realize that it's been gone for a while. But no, it's gonna be a problem for a while.
Uh,
I'm all clean, like physically, but
You're
it's
like-
just kind of like an emotional taint now.
you're like next to me in the order, right?
No, I've been like flying ahead.
Yeah, Rat and Draken have
okay.
been way ahead of all the walkers.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
airborne.
Hmm. I want to try something when there's a chance for it.
Okay.
This has a 30-foot range. Its components are, verbal and material.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's going to be a chance for me to be within 30 feet.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're not like way ahead or anything, I'd assume.
Okay. Would I be allowed to to
Yes.
talk to Rat and suggest blowing his nose really hard, and then he'll be fine.
Are you trying to use what suggestion?
Yes?
Oh, like the actual spell?
Yes.
I mean, you could just suggest it. Like actually suggest it.
I haven't had a reason to use this spell, and it seems like the kindest way to do it. So we're just gonna, you're gonna try really hard. I don't know.
You want the text of that on the screen?
I can just paste it.
Oh, I've got it here. It's funny.
This method actor, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah. You just want him to. It's funny. A snake's tongue is the component.
I got one of those.
Always. So, you just want to make him basically try to sneeze it out. Right?
Not that he continually tries to sneeze it out.
Just
that
once.
that he sneezes it out with the belief that he will be better after the sneeze.
All right. Is the save DC correct? 18.
Yes.
All right. Rat, would you want to resist it? You can
Wisdom.
fail by choice if you prefer.
I fail
Yeah.
anyway.
Fails anyway.
Snot rocket left. Ka-chow. Snot rocket right. Ka-chow. Ting.
All right. Rat,
Nice.
you honestly feel a little worse.
Oh no! Okay, well,
It's okay.
It was worth a try.
It was worth a try. That was good. And you got to use the spell finally.
onward.
All right. So
Sorry.
Rat. No, you're good. Rat and Draken are scouting, right?
Yes. Yeah, flying ahead. To
Okay.
see if there's a less deep area,
So.
or
fr-
a way through that doesn't put these guys in the water up to their neck.
It steps down about maybe 5 feet from the level that you're on, as far as you can tell.
So five more feet from waist depth.
Yeah.
These guys are okay. Submerged then.
Yeah.
And
No one stepped down yet, though.
No, so that's gonna be like 7 feet of ugh.
The ceiling is about from the surface of the water to the top about 30 feet. To give you some perspective, like this room is actually fairly large. There does appear to be another half submerged portal on the other side, so you imagine it does come back up on the other side of the room. So there must be some incline that leads up to the doorway, but it is shut. There's vats on either side of the room, as you can see there. And of course, the growth is everywhere. The stench in here is twice what it has been. The water is completely still, slick and black. And the lights in here are really weird. They give off a weird, strange illumination.
Hey, Saren,
What?
where would the purge valve be?
I had nothing to do with farming. I have no idea.
There's no signs up here that I can't read that say like purge valve emergency arrow.
I don't remember any of these chambers being this filled with liquid.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna fly down to the other side of the room.
Okay. All the way down?
All the way down.
Okay. You go down to the other side. You do see the steps come up to the portal, kind of just below the surface there. But nothing like jumps out of the water after you or anything.
Cool. How far? How long was the hallway?
Probably about 100 feet.
Okay. Is there a control panel or something for the? You said the door was like half jammed open.
No, this
Down
one's
here?
shut. This one's completely
This
shut.
one's shut all the way.
Yeah, completely shut.
Okay. I'd like to look around for a control panel or
There's a panel next to the door.
there's a panel next to it.
Mhm.
All right, I'll get to work.
Okay, you're trying to open
on
the
that.
door.
I'd like to try and get the door open.
Okay. So you're working on the door. What's everybody else doing? while he's, because this will take him a minute. What's everyone else doing?
Bryn's looking around for alternative means of traversing the space.
Okay. And you could try a balancing act along that beam that's there.
I think, honestly, she's going to try that.
You're gonna try the balancing act.
Yeah.
All right.
She's a fae. She's very graceful and dexterous.
That's fair. Keep in mind it's very slick and covered with like mold and algae too, though.
She will be going very slow.
Okay. So
Sometimes that actually makes it worse.
let's do your we'll do acrobatics for this one since it's kind of like a tightrope walk.
Okay. And, I think just because it's so slick, I think she will be doing sort of prestidigitation along the way to help herself out.
Okay. That's fair.
Alright.
20. We have to do this for every 10 feet, so
Okay.
we'll have to do 10 feet per. But is anyone else following suit, or?
I was willing to wait a little while, see what Ratt can come up with.
Are we all gonna eventually have to traverse this path in some form or another, or?
Well, you know me, I don't ever make you do anything.
Yeah. I was thinking, maybe Ratt gets that door worked out. It might drain a little bit. I mean, that'd be better.
Does anybody just want me to carry him over to the other steps? I can do that. One at a
that's,
time.
That does sound nice, actually. Yeah, I'll take a
You
look.
want me to carry? All right, I'm gonna carry Jimmy.
All right. So Draken flies by Bren carrying Jimmy. They wave.
Questions need to be answered. How is Jimmy being carried?
By Draken.
Yes.
Under his
Wow.
arms.
Oh, okay, like football.
Yes.
Got
Well,
it.
no. More like how an adult would carry a baby. Draken's arms are underneath Jimmy's arm.
It's kind of romantic.
Because you're not.
I know
using your wings
Draken
to fly.
has the wings, but I picture him flying like a jet instead of like a bird.
Well,
He
is
never
using,
flaps the wing.
He is using the fly spell right now.
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty accurate, really. Bren, you want to give me another roll?
Yeah, sure.
Oh. Anything you can do to counter that?
I mean, she could do a Misty Step real quick if she, actually is losing her footing.
You are. Is that a reaction? Misty Step? Or is it like a
Miss-
bonus?
It's a bonus action.
Yeah, you know what? I'll allow it. You start going. You're almost parallel with the water, and you go whoop. Where are you Misty Stepping to?
30 feet ahead, still on the beams.
Okay. You want to go for the beam or the vat?
Would the vat be easier to traverse?
It'll give you a place to stabilize.
Yeah, we'll go on the vat.
Because you're in mid-fall, so if you land back on the beam, you'll still be in mid-fall, kind of.
Yeah, let's go for the vat.
Okay. So yeah, you Misty Step onto the vat. That'd be the first vat there. Poof, you kind of slip and slide a little bit and get your balance again. catch your breath. Your heart's probably racing.
Oh, jeez.
You want me to come back and get you after I put Jimmy down?
That would actually be appreciated, yeah.
No problem.
What about you, Istu? What are you doing? Wading out into it and just swimming along, or?
Well, I don't have any of the fancy flying spells, so I'm just kind of...
You still have your gills, don't you?
Right. If it's not, like, toxic water, then I guess I'm just moving along.
You'll have to swim unless you...
Yeah.
Okay. So you're swimming? I believe it's
that's
the
fine.
same as your walking speed, if I remember correctly.
Right. I think that should be fine. Just
Okay. So you're
coasting along.
swimming. Draken drops off Jimmy on the steps, I assume.
Yeah.
Thank you, Draken.
And starts heading back for Bryn. Istu's
Yep.
swimming. Istu, what is your AC?
One second. I'm lagging pretty hard.
It's okay.
It's not good, that's for sure. 14, 19 with shield.
19. Well, we don't have the shield right now because you're swimming. But that's okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
okay.
it's a reaction, but I can't do that with my arms busy, probably.
14, you said?
Nice knowing you guys. God damn it. Okay.
Istu disappears under the surface of the water very violently.
Yep.
That's not good.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Sploosh.
I like to think that you see them just sort of dip below the surface and then pop back up, and then dip below the surface and then pop back up, and then dip below the surface and then just
And then
disappear, just gone.
Not good, not good.
Okay.
I am
Not
very
bad.
far away from that and cannot move very quickly to it.
Yes, I've once again put you in your ultimate weakness. Water.
Water.
Anytime you're like, "What's your AC?" I'm like, "Oh God, here comes the eulogy. I gotta write it now."
Yeah. Rat, quick. Can you see through the water?
Why? I'm busy with the door. Now you want me to look at the... Why with the water? What?
Because
What?
Istu just went under. Look at the water.
Oh. Okay. I turn around and I peer down the water corridor.
You see the occasional faint glimmer that the water is disrupting a good bit. But yeah, you see the faint glimmer. You get a general idea of where Istu is, where they are.
They're right there. They're just swimming underwater like a awesome reptile. They're just showing off. See? Look, they made it all the way over there.
They're not moving.
Oh, it's not moving anymore.
Yeah, they're not moving. So
Point to where they are, Ratt.
it's right there.
Alright. So, add this. Bryn is going to be casting Bigby's hand.
okay.
And
Well-
she's going to be trying to fish Istu out of the water.
Okay. So real quick, Istu.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done any damage yet, so we're gonna get that taken care of real quick. Okay.
Okay.
It's gonna be a little scary.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just don't be afraid.
Why would I be afraid?
No reason. It's really not that bad. 5 plus what?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 6. So for the initial attack,
Yep.
33 damage.
Okay.
I need you to give me a con save, please.
Okay. Nope.
Do you want to use luck to re-roll that or anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Be better, yeah.
I don't get the feeling that it will be, but
On average, it will.
Never hurts to have the chance.
hey, 14.
That
There we
was
go.
that was a little better. You can't well. Oh, they're not within 30 feet though.
This place is longer than 30 feet.
Yeah, maybe it's about
Place is
100
100
feet
feet
long.
long.
Ah, shit.
I have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects too, but I don't know if that counts.
No, this one's not a magical effect,
Okay. Well,
unfortunately.
that's
Okay, so
we tried.
Looks like Rat's trying to use his flash of genius.
Not
it's
close enough.
Not close
Oh,
enough,
okay.
unfortunately.
Eh.
So, just keep in mind that you failed that, okay?
Uh-huh.
I need another con save, please.
Okay.
That's a bit better.
You actually passed that one. Good job. For a moment, you felt yourself almost seize up under the water. Like a panic almost overcame you completely to the point of your brain felt like it was about to tear apart, but then you pulled yourself together like a trooper.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's it for that, for now. Keep in mind you did fail that save, though. Don't forget. Okay. So, you're going after them with Big B's.
Big B's hand, yes. Bryn is trying to locate and pick up Istu as best she can. Rat
Alright.
pointed out where they are under the water.
Is anyone else doing anything while this is happening? Just to give everyone
Far
a
away.
chance.
I'm really slow in the water.
I have a bad idea.
What's your
Bad
bad?
ideas are interesting.
I've pointed the like. I feel like I've already done a thing. Like I pointed a laser ray of frost for Bryn.
Okay. Yeah,
So I
that's
feel
fair.
like that.
That's fair.
Like I already did a thing, but Jimmy, if you wanted to grab this hand cannon off my hip
Yeah, yeah.
and like say vortex warp to it and then point at where the ray of frost just went off, you might end up over there.
Hmm? I draw the hand cannon.
Okay. Are you vortex warping over to that spot?
Why not?
Into the water you go.
We are in business.
Alright, so the hand splashes in. Jimmy splashes in. Draken, are you doing anything?
I think I'm still holding the ghost. Technically, I was carrying her before this all began, so
That's
I
true.
thought-
I think
I thought Draken was in the middle of flying back, so I thought Bryn was still like on top of the vat for the time being because he had like just dropped off Jimmy.
Yeah, actually, that would be more accurate. You're right. You're right. Yeah, so you were headed back, so you could act if you wanted, Draken.
I am gonna fly to roughly where the ray of frost was, and just keep an eye out. And if I see Istu, I will try to grab them.
Okay. All right. So the hand goes in. Jimmy goes in. Draken flies that way. So I'm gonna let Bryn, I'm gonna let you go first to try for a grab.
Okay.
It'll be at disadvantage because you are still kind of flying blind, quote unquote.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead and make your grab.
Okay, that's just a grab attack, right?
Yeah.
So... Oh god, remind me what a grab attack is.
I think it's just a melee, like, touch attack, isn't it?
The grab attack, you typically replace your 2-hit roll with an athletics check contested by the opponent's athletics or acrobatics check.
There you go.
Okay, so... I'm just going to roll my athletics, but keep in mind that this will be with the hand strength, which is a +8. So, you know, add 7 to whatever this roll is.
Sure. That works.
Okay, so 10.
10. Okay.
The opponent can always fail.
Yeah.
Thing is, you're grabbing a grappled opponent. So you're grabbing 2 creatures, more or less.
Oh, shit.
So we're gonna use... Boom, yeah. It's not giving. It's not giving. But that was just bad dice. You have another chance next round. Jimmy,
Yes.
you're in the water.
Yes, I teleport and then twist into a dive.
All right. You're immediately just engulfed in the black of the water.
Yes. Fortunately.
Yeah. Blind sense, yeah.
Blind sense. Rogues are so good.
You're
Can't
definitely...
believe that shit.
Definitely, that'll be beneficial. Definitely that'll be beneficial. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's basically a round. Istu, I'm gonna give you your turn first, okay?
Yep.
What would you like to do?
So before I got into this water, where was Draken?
Draken's flying back from the other end of the room. Well, that was the last you saw of Draken anyway. Before you went under.
I
Whatever
am pretty glittery.
whatever got you not only wrapped around you with like arms and legs and drug you down, but when they did, it's like this horrible cold burning sensation ripped across you where they got you. Like every part of you that they touched just feels like that part of you is dying.
So can I see in this water?
No. Unless you have the means to see through like murky water somehow. Because it's more of an obscuring effect than a darkness.
Would you allow my dark vision to allow me to know which way's up?
Not your dark vision, but I tell you what. Give me a survival roll.
Okay. 18?
Okay. You know, like you said, you had that fear kind of come over you and almost grip you. You managed to get yourself together. As you do that, you kind of still yourself for a moment. Focus on the buoyancy of your body in the direction that it's pulling you, and you can kind of determine which way is up from that.
Okay. I'm gonna do this.
It's a verbal component.
In the water, which I can't... So I can't speak in the water.
Which is a large portion of what killed us so bad, trying to fight the nascent god.
Can I use my movement to get to the surface, or am I...
You're grappled.
Oh. Okay. Well...
You can try to break the grapple. You can tell that something is down there with you, trying to pull you up. Something large.
You'd probably see like a slight bit of a ghostly glow because it would be like close to them.
True. Yeah, you can see it, more or less. A big ghostly hand trying to grab you.
And actually, Istu would probably recognize that hand because Bryn has definitely used it in their presence before.
Also true. At least you know they're trying to save you.
We're working on it.
And I'm grappled by this hand or by the thing that touched me?
By the thing that touched you.
Okay.
You want to try and break the grapple?
I would like to take one more second to check this stupid listing because I don't know
You're good.
if it will let me do this. Okay, now I have to Google something I was hoping I'd never have to Google.
That doesn't narrow it down for me. There's a lot of things I hope I never have to Google.
Yeah, that's not helpful either. That sucks. Okay.
What? Hey Alexa, how do I get rid of a body?
Oh no. Yeah, I don't have any other options. I guess I'll try to break the grapple. This is some bullshit because I know you're gonna say make a strength save. I'm gonna be like,
no, you can do athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
What I guess I would assume the thing that's on me is sentient, right?
You can. It hasn't given you any clue as to its sentience yet, to be fair, though. All it's done is grab you and hurt you.
So we're gonna do this one. I know this hand is searching for me and such.
Alright. What are you creating?
Only my target can see this, right? Or is it just kind of...
No, I think it's an illusion. I think anything in the area can see it or hear it.
Okay, I want to make the brightest light ever right behind my head at the base of my neck.
Okay.
So whatever is trying to grab me is likely going to see it, and whatever the hand that's trying to rescue me can see it too through the dark water.
Can I?
The image can't create... What? Oh, okay, so no. No, that's fine. You know what? That's fine. That is such a terrible description. If you create an image of an object, it can't create light, but you can create light as the illusion.
Lamau.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah, Yeah, no, that's great. I like that. So yeah, you light up with a halo around your head. Jimmy,
Yes.
you're down there.
Yes.
This lights up the area for you.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna show everybody, but because I hate just showing one person something and then having to show everybody bit by bit. So, hang on, let me see here. Oh, is it gonna be wonky on me? It might be wonky on me. I hate it when it does that. Let me refresh my Roll20 here real quick. Hang on.
I haven't given you a story yet.
Also, I believe Bryn is next before Jimmy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just showing him what the illumination lit up.
Okay.
So yeah, it lit up a. Hopefully this shows you.
So, when I was a little kid, I was in school. I was in
Actually, here, hang on.
second grade.
I have a better way to do this. So, Brendan, here real quick. Go ahead and tell me what you're gonna do.
Well, if I can see the light that Istu has created, I'm going for them again.
That one happened.
All right.
Do I get to make a normal athletics?
And bully trying to make me
Yeah. Sorry.
Alright.
So when I was in school,
Okay, so 17.
There you go.
Oh, jeez.
Hate that.
That gross.
Yeah, that is pretty gross.
So 17 for her.
Okay.
so the bully pushed me.
Yep.
Christ.
All right. So yeah,
How's it beating the strength of the hand? That's like a... God.
it's pretty powerful itself.
Yeah.
Last time.
But yeah, you can see the face of what's got a hold of it. It's in one of those suits though, Jimmy.
That was the fast one I've
Mm.
ever seen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just gripping hold really tight, really hard.
I became just have to scoot.
All right. So I was Bryn.
So that's the story.
I guess Jimmy, you're next, right?
Okay.
We want
Stabbing is my
to
specialty.
seek.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to try and
Can-
stab it?
Can I get attacks in here without any risk of hitting Istu?
Hey,
It's gonna be like one of those disadvantage attacks because of the attacking a grappled opponent.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
That is fair.
yeah, the only if you crit fail, you might stick is too.
Well, let's not do that.
But also, wouldn't this count as like advantage because she's being grappled by it? So when he make a normal roll,
It's underneath is too. Like it,
okay.
it's on
The
its
trick with
back.
grapple is the grappled target you have advantage against, not the grappler.
I was thinking the advantage if you have an ally within 5 feet.
Oh yeah, that's not advantage anymore. That's if we're playing with flanking rules. It just lets me use sneak attack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So in this case, I can sneak attack. I am at disadvantage then because it's on the other side of Istu. Actually, one second. Let me.
There's a lot of thought going into this one.
Were I to use my bolts from the grave,
Haven't used that in a while.
yes. Were I to use my bolts from the grave, would that also have disadvantage? Because I always figure that those are like homing, if you will. They're a ranged spell attack rather than a melee.
Do they use any type of two-hit roll?
Yeah, a ranged spell attack roll.
Yeah, no, then it's not
still be-
homing.
Yeah.
Homing would be magic missile.
Yeah, that's fair. Magic Missile's such a good spell.
Yeah.
Man, Magic Missile's such a good spell.
All right.
Alright, in that case, I will simply go with the good old stab, and we'll see what we can get through here.
All right. Go for it. Let's see what you got.
What we're up against.
Just don't roll one.
I will attempt very hard not to roll a 1.
Did not roll a 1.
Yes.
Yeah. You managed to deftly kind of snake around Istu, no pun intended, and stick this creature in the side, whatever it is, pretty solid. For, was that 45 damage?
Yep.
Not
Not
bad.
bad. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Looking good.
All right. 45. There we go.
Did it seem to disturb the creature in any way, or is it just no reaction?
It turned its attention to you.
Oh, that'll do.
In fact, it's gonna go because it didn't. It was holding its move. So, Jimmy,
Yes.
first thing I need is a con save from you, please.
You got it, brother. Is it some form of poisonous or disease-based effect?
For this, no, not this. No.
Okay. Then just a straight con save. Ooh, full fail.
Ooh.
Oof. All right, so
We take those.
you'll take 13 psychic damage.
That seems fair.
And you are shaken horribly. This thing
nice.
just gazed into your strange, dark little soul, and you are gripped with the weirdest fear you've ever felt in your life. You will be at disadvantage on all attack and skill rolls to the start of the creature's next turn.
Really hate that.
Alright. One more thing.
Yes.
I need another con save.
You got it. Is this one poison or disease based?
This one is actually disease based.
Perfect. Well, it helped a little.
So still not quite enough.
Still not great.
Alright. Do you have any resistance to necrotic damage?
Shit, maybe. Let me double check. Where'd I put this? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You put a resistance or anything?
I think that's what I set it to last with Black Jammers, is the trick.
Okay. Is it a resistance? So you take like half
Yeah,
damage?
like resistance, I have things.
Okay. So you'll take half of 14.
Seems fair.
As you feel this icy cold sensation literally wrap around your heart and begin to squeeze, kind of pouring negative necrotic energy into your heart. This thing's just, his eyes are locked on you. You can tell it's very aware of what it's doing, intelligently so.
I would say I'm staring him down, but nah, this thing's freaking me the hell out right now.
Okay. Which, I guess Ratt and Draken, you guys doing anything?
Not really a whole lot I can do.
It's your call.
No, it's all good. I'm gonna go back to work on the door.
Okay. Draken? What are you polymorphing into? Are you talking?
Well, he's not muted.
Discord must be doing Discord things again.
Discord doing Discord.
Yeah.
things.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
there it comes.
There it goes. Welcome back.
Yeah.
There
Discord
we
is Discord, like you said.
go. Well, we hear you now. You're good.
Yes.
What are you polymorphing into?
Giant alligator.
Okay.
Hey.
Creature that is used to murky water.
All right. Giant alligator. Okay.
And then I am diving in. I am a huge creature.
I
Okay.
change my. Can I change my previous action instead of going back to work on the door? As Draken like dives into the water,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
as the alligator,
Oh, you're gonna hit him with haste.
we'll hit him with haste.
Okay.
The fastest gator in the
This is
west.
the fastest alligator you ever saw.
All right.
You never saw.
So now you are a giant hasted alligator.
Yes.
So this round you're polymorphing and diving in. Next round you'll start turning into a Cuisinart.
Pretty much. And then everyone can ride on my back as the alligator.
Are you a golden alligator?
I think I just have to be.
Okay.
I am a golden shimmering alligator.
That seems
And he
right.
still has a fly spell on him, so like we'll be riding a flying golden alligator.
That's true. What is this fly?
And this is how we break the gray
Is that-
game.
Is that? No, because flight's concentration, isn't it? Or does it just last?
I thought it was concentration. I think it goes away, but I am checking right now.
Because polymorph is concentration.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be really cool, though.
Yeah.
We could pull it off. We just have to shuffle some gear around.
Either way, giant alligator.
Okay. So, we're at the top of the next round. Before we dive into much further, though, why don't we take our union break real quick?
Sounds good.
Because I have got to pee.
Nature calls to me as well.
Excellent, excellent. I'm not the only one. So, we will be right back after this short word from whatever sponsor you want to imagine is talking to you and trying to sell you things. Don't touch the dial.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Wow, look at that. Poof, we're back. Like magic. Like magic. Okay. Sorry about the delay, everybody at home. Let's get this party rolling. No pun intended. At the top of the order is 2. What would you like to do?
Run away and hide is no longer an option, right?
I mean, if you can get out of the grapple.
Oh, right. That pesky thing. I was supposed to be breaking that, and I got distracted with giving myself a light halo. Nice.
That did help. That did help.
Assuming this thing is in the water for a reason, most predators choose an environment that suits their skill set. So, like, I feel like it's choosing the water and the darkness because that fits its skill. So as I've got this light around me, I'm gonna try my best to get out of this. What do I roll for that?
Break the grapple, athletics, or acrobatics, your choice.
You know, oddly enough, 21.
That's pretty
Nice.
solid. That's pretty solid. Let's see.
Acrobatics is the only
Yes!
thing I don't have a modifier for.
There you go. You've broken free.
That and stealth, but who cares?
You have broken free.
Nice. I would like to begin using my movement to get to the surface.
Keep in mind
Attacks of opportunity.
that was basically your action was breaking the grapple.
So I can't take a disengage.
You can't take you can just haul, but it would get an attack of opportunity.
I'm gonna stay where I am and just prepare to react to try to dodge.
You want to turn around and face the thing?
I have to, right?
Don't
I
have
have
to.
to.
You don't have
So
to do
if
anything.
I swim away, it gets an attack of opportunity. Clearly, it's very skilled at grabbing me. It will try to grab me, and it will likely succeed. So, if I need to face it to see its attack incoming, because how else will I know that it's trying to attack me?
Fair.
So I can't really, within the boundaries of what's rational and
It's sound
preserving
battle
myself
tactics
from-
to face
yeah.
your opponents.
yeah, I mean, I see all these people trying to help me get out of this, and yeah, so
Okay. Well, in that case, give me a Constitution save, please.
oh boy. Well, it's been great, guys. I've had some fun. We've had some laughs. And
Oh, come on. I'm going to
24.
stab this thing to death.
I get that. Once again, you feel that fear kind of wash across you as you turn around and face this thing, but you manage to get yourself under control. Keep your composure.
Mhm.
Look at that. You were worried for nothing. All right. Is that it for you?
that is it for me.
All right. Bryn, you are up.
All right, Bryn is going to grab and lift Is2 out of the water.
Is two, are you resisting or allowing this to happen?
I think at this point, since I'm being removed from the source of my discomfort,
Mm-hmm.
that I would allow it.
Okay.
I'm not a
Alright.
fan of things touching me, but here we go, I guess.
Better the hand than this thing, right?
Yes, yes,
Alright,
whatever
you-
that is.
You are grasped gently and lifted from the water. That area that you were wounded on still feels dead. Like the flesh there is just, as you come out of the water, you look down and you can see it's just black with these veins running out of it. Like the flesh there is just dead.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Those
But,
those points you took,
Mhm.
they're not coming back until you get a long rest.
Okay.
Keep that
Yeah.
in mind.
But as you're lifted out of the water, you see the ghost with purple crystal ball in her left hand and her right mimicking the shape of Bigby's hand with a very ghostly glow around it. Gonna look at Istri and say, yeah, that's why I opted not to swim. And she's going to lift them down onto the top of another vat.
All right. So you guys are both out of the water, safe. For now. Dun dun dun. Anything else for you, Brent?
That's it.
Okay. All right, Jimmy. Looks like
Yo.
you're down there. This thing is still locked onto you.
He's having a look at me. So, how far underwater am I?
Oh, goodness. Maybe about 15 at the most, I'd say. 15 feet.
Oh, that's not far. I got plenty of movement for that. And how close am I to the creature? Probably 5 feet, I guess, since I stabbed it
you're in
very
melee
recently.
range. Yeah.
Alright, so here's the plan. Cunning action, disengage. Swim to the surface so I can talk.
Okay.
Say vortex warp to the gun again and just warp the hell out of here.
Okay. All right. That is your move.
That is my move. I say, alright, I hate this, I'm getting out of here.
Leaving the golden gator in the water all alone.
I don't know if I've seen Draken crash down yet. Have I seen Draken crash down?
It was probably hard to miss. He's huge. And gold.
Yeah, I probably would know it's Draken. If I didn't know it was Draken, I'd just be more likely to get out of here.
That's alright.
Is he in melee range?
He's headed that way.
It's relevant because it would give me sneak attack still.
He will be. I mean, unless he changed his plan to turn into a giant golden Cuisinart.
I wouldn't leave my boy down here, quite frankly.
All right. So what do you want to do instead?
I am afeared. However, let's see. Does it go before me in the turn order? Did it already go?
No, it goes after you.
Goes after me. I'm afraid until its next turn now. Am I not?
Correct.
I'm just gonna take the disadvantage. We're gonna go for a stab.
Okay. Go for it.
How's a 19 do?
19 hits.
Hey.
No, I don't
Stay
think
in
you
there.
get sneak attack yet, though, right?
Not unless Draken is already in melee range.
Yeah, not quite yet.
Yeah. So no, just the 12.
12. All right.
Just the 12.
All right.
Which, not bad still.
No. And this is Black Jammer, right?
That is Black Jammer, as a matter of fact. And I can actually bolts from the grave, which does not have a restriction on its use.
Oh, okay. Is it like a bonus action or something?
It is immediately after you use your cunning action, which I will disengage cunning action to back away from it slightly.
Okay.
I would like to not be in immediate grappling range, and I'm going to go stack up next to my boy.
Okay.
Currently large golden alligator.
All right, go ahead.
Find my...
Haven't used this one in a while.
Yes, but I've still got it on lock.
Is it necrotic damage?
It is necrotic damage.
Okay. It has no effect.
Ooh, interesting.
It was a solid attack, though. 26 damage, nothing to
26 damage on that one is not bad, yeah.
nothing to sneeze at there. All right. That brings us to the creature.
I have to update that, actually. That's supposed to be 8d6 now.
It's getting
rogues are so good, man.
All right, so Jimmy.
I have been I feel very targeted right now.
Yeah, you are. You certainly are. It opens its mouth, and you see this black tendril fly out that doesn't look completely tangible. And it
Really
just
not a fan.
lashes at you, even at the disengaged distance, twice.
Goddamn.
I'd say that's a hit.
Ooh.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Big ass hits. Alright, I've got tricks for this. I got a lot of tricks for this, but these con saves are really going to suck.
Well, that's just to take the effect of the reducing your hit point maximum until you get a long rest. That's all the con save is.
Yes. So I'm gonna do some rogue bullshit if you don't mind.
All right.
Let me find my rogue bullshit. Where's my rogue bullshit?
Oh, it's a chunk of damage.
Yeah.
It is. Where did it go? Okay, here it is. So, firstly, I've still got resistance to necrotic.
Okay, so you'll take half the necrotic, but all the bludgeoning.
And rogue bullshit.
Okay.
So I can have attacks that I can see coming, and I saw this one coming.
You did. So that's fair.
Let me do some math.
Yeah. It's a lot
I
of
got the math, don't you worry.
Okay. I'm curious how much that turns out to be with all the deductions.
Exactly. So necrotic will be quartered, bludgeoning only halved. I have no resistance to bludgeoning. So let's go necrotic total. God damn, that's so much necrotic damage. Alright, so 29, 58, 68, 75.
His two made out all right. All
Yeah,
things
no doubt.
considered.
So that's down to 18.
That's a huge deduction. That's
That is
awesome.
a rogue bullshit. You love to see it every single time. And then the bludgeoning is halved, so that's 11, 23, 27. 27 by 2, 13?
Yeah, round in your favor.
Yes.
So how much did you end up taking altogether?
31 damage.
Still slapped you pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a big old slap, but man, is it nice to be a rogue.
Yeah, but I mean, the alternative is he would have taken something like 90 something damage.
The alternative is I'd be sit dead right here.
Or nearly dead.
So, real quick, make your. I actually need 3.
3 con saves. You
3.
got it. Which of these might be affected by my advantage on these things?
This is your advantage versus
Poison and disease.
the first 2 for the leeching lash.
All right. So there's the first 2,
All right, the first one saved.
and then there's a standard one.
All right, so the second amount of damage, however that much ended up being, is reduced from your total until you get a long rest.
Okay, so the second amount of damage was the chunky boy. Okay.
And then the last con save was for the
fear effect.
yeah, that's still going, and then you'll take, oh my god, 14 psychic damage from that.
You hate to see that kind of thing. I would be dead, actually.
Yeah. Well,
With the 14 on top, I'd just be sitting here dead.
I'm going to show you this real quick because I want you to know the stakes.
Oh, you got it.
As a player.
Oh, that would suck ass.
Oh, fuck.
Because my character is bullshit, I've even got something stupid for that.
Yeah, but I just wanted you guys to know the stakes.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
You know, that spell that nobody ever takes that stops corpses from reanimating. Okay, but no, yeah, you actually bypassed a lot of damage there. That's good. So I guess we're Rat. What are you doing?
I can't see it, right?
No, it's still.
'Cause it's still in the murky water.
Yeah, the halo's gone.
The halo's gone. So, nothing?
Okay, just holding on.
Yep, I think just holding on.
Water is the bane of Rat too.
Unfortunately, I have to be able to see to do just about anything.
Oh yeah.
Well, unless...
Uh-oh.
No, because the water would be dampening any thermal or infrared.
It would also...
But the secondary or other effect, original effect of the sunglasses was 120-foot true sight. Would true sight mechanically give me a vision of the creature through the water?
That's a good question.
I don't think so, because True Sight just lets you see creatures that are, like, proper invisible, and also allows you to see, like, a shapeshifter's true form. So, like, if Bryn didn't have her magical amulet and she'll shapeshifted, you'd be able to see her. I mean, this is just a creature underneath murky water, so it's not exactly invisible.
Yeah.
You could also see into the ethereal plane, which may allow you to see through water.
Well, it's obscurement, technically. Obscurement is like the most powerful thing in D&D.
It is.
It's busted
It
as
is
hell.
quite. I'll just maintain concentration on hasted gator.
Okay. It's perfectly alright. If you want, I'll let you hold an action.
Obscurement was my plan to take down Scratch, by the way.
Yeah, alright. I will hold a ray of frost conditionally if the creature breaks the surface of the water.
Fair. Not a problem. Alright. Draken. Giant alligator. Oh.
He cycles.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
He's back.
I can hear you all. I just apparently it doesn't pick up what I'm saying.
Alright, so I've got the giant crocodile stats pulled up in case you need them.
Discord!
Yeah, I know.
I am going to swim over to it,
Okay.
and I am gonna use a multi-attack.
Bite and tail.
Bite and tail.
Alright. Do you have it all pulled up, or do you need me?
I've got the giant crocodile because I couldn't find a giant alligator.
That'll work. That's fine.
Yeah, so 20, 8. So just add. So 13
13 does not pierce the suit.
and tail.
Oh.
Oh no. Poor Draken.
Let's figure out what that is, because with Rat thing, I have another.
Hasted action.
Yeah.
This is true. Oh my goodness.
Depending on the rule of this, I will be attacking again, depending on if I can.
Let's see. Here we go. Give me a D10.
That would be a 5.
5. You overextended. He has advantage on his next attack roll.
Okay.
All right. So, but no, you didn't lose your other attack. Go ahead.
Now I get another attack action.
Mm-hmm. You can use your
So do I
multi
still
attack
get
again.
okay. So
Go ahead.
first
do it.
one is bite. That would be
Bite.
a 27.
Okay.
Very nice.
And tail
And just to figure it out, would be 19.
for the tail attack.
Yep.
All right. So your bite clamps down really hard. You feel it like pierce the suit, and then as you kind of tear your teeth out, you slap the tail around. It smacks the creature. I believe that's what was the save there? DC 16 strength save or be knocked prone.
I'm not trying to grapple it.
Well, this is for the tail.
Oh yeah.
DC 16 to knock it prone, which in this case would just knock it away since he's already underwater.
Yeah, prone's kind of tricky underwater.
That made his save though. It does not appear to affect him though, your attack stone. It knocks him around a little and tears the suit, but didn't seem to faze him other than putting a really bad taste in your mouth.
All right. Now I'm annoyed.
Or actually, no, you did do some damage. I'm sorry. Did you roll damage?
Yeah.
The 3d10.
24 for the bite
Sorry, 24. Okay.
and 10 for the tail.
Okay. It's resistant, not immune. So. Okay. So you did do some damage. It was just reduced. Sorry. My bad. Didn't mean to ruin that for you. Both solid hits, though. Both very solid. All right. Anything else for you, Draken? Sorry.
That will be it.
All right. All right. That brings us back around to Istu. You are standing out of the water on a vat.
I would like to sit down.
Okay.
I just narrowly escape whatever's in the water, and I want to have my center of gravity as low as possible on this vat, and I want to be as stable as I can be. So I'm just gonna have a seat and hold my action to try to jump in where I can if there's a chance for me to do something useful.
Okay. Not a problem. All right. Bryn, you're up. It's a tricky one.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. Huh. Looking at my spells, thinking what the hell I even want to use here.
Handout, right?
Yeah, your hand's
Yeah.
still active, I think.
Yeah, it is still active.
Pick it up, just like hold it up in the middle of the air, and then we can just like blabble.
Just what?
Just like we can all unload on it if it's just kind of like suspended in the air and out of its element, right?
I mean, there are two of like our companions, like they're down and blasting it.
That's true.
We would love if it was lifted in the air instead. We're taking some hits down here.
Can you do like the claw machine?
The
I mean,
claw.
yeah, if y'all really want me to pick it up,
I don't know. Maybe.
The claw.
I have been chosen.
I mean, also, Bryn kind of has this really, really cool, like, new spell that I think will affect this thing because it's just a, like, cone-shaped AoE effect.
Oh, okay. Do a cool. Do an awesome Britain thing.
Okay. Well, first, I'm going to, as a bonus action, move, well, actually, I'll do this last. First off, like, aiming sort of in the general direction away from where I'm guessing Jimmy and Draken are. I can probably see the golden glitter, like, out of the water.
Okay.
Bryn is going to do this. There we go.
Interesting. Okay. Was it con save?
Yes.
60-foot cone. It's pretty big. Because they're both within. I'm trying to think if you're gonna hit teammates with that. Or well, it says a creature within range is the target, but it's a 60-foot cone. It's another one of those. Well, which is it? Wizards?
Yes.
Right.
Slightly ambiguous here.
You know what? I'll give it to you.
Okay.
We're gonna say it's an amazing lucky shot into the water. You're just narrowly avoiding your teammates.
All right. So Bryn sings her hauntingly spooky song.
All right. And this is con save.
Con save.
DC 18.
Yep.
There you go.
Ooh. Take 41 force damage.
All right. Solid hit.
Yeah, and then she will use her bonus action to move Bigby's hand in front of her as a shield. Imposing hand.
All right. There we go. Solid. Okay. You guys see this thing kind of blah, 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 get hit by this force wave of spirit song. Even in the water, at least. All right, Jimmy. Still feeling a little wary.
Yeah, not a huge fan.
Confidence is shaken.
Yes. Draken's probably not the most communicative right now, being a huge alligator and such.
He's just hangry.
But because he's attacked him, he's moved into melee range, hasn't he?
Yes, most certainly.
Okay.
Although keep in mind you have disadvantage.
Yes, I definitely have disadvantage. This is true. I am contemplating my many options.
Mm-hmm.
How big is this thing?
Elf-sized.
Oh, so it's not like any larger, it's just the size of the suit it's in?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I try to sever a limb?
You like make a cold shot?
Yeah.
Do you have like a? You don't have sharpness, or certainly not vorpal.
No, I don't think Black Jammers is
Not
quite
that
as
powerful.
busted as all that.
So
So I don't have any particular limb severing effects.
I'll let you try.
Okay.
It's basically gonna be a cold crit. Like you actually pull a crit off, you'll sever a limb.
That's statistically really unlikely given the disadvantage.
1 in 400.
But not impossible.
We've done some bullshit before. Alright, I'm slashing.
Go for it. You'll still hit if you hit, right?
Of course.
So 14 with the disadvantage, right?
Yes, correct.
So you didn't get your crit, but 14 hits.
14 hits. We take those, and Draken's in range this time, so the sneak hits.
Alright.
39 damage.
39.
Also, isn't Jimmy a dual wielder?
Yeah, but it requires me to not use my cunning action. I was going to use my cunning action.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
One can bonus do some stuff. How far away was I when it hit me with that tentacle?
10 feet.
Well, I have a lot of move speed, so I'm gonna move out to 20 after disengaging with cunning action.
Okay. You move out to 20 from the 10, so 30 total.
No, 20 from the creature.
Oh, that's because you had to move back into melee anyway, so yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So this is my... That's using most of my speed, but I've still got a little to spare.
Okay. Not a problem. 20 feet out. Alright.
Alright, makes my turn.
Okay. Alright. And that brings us to the creature.
Yes. Oh, I gotta roll the fear, don't I?
Yes, you do. Sorry.
Alright, here, have a fear roll. Yeah!
You made it. You managed to
good.
shake it.
I put one good slice across this thing and said, I can kill this.
Oh, it was supposed to be the end of its turn, but still, we'll let that count.
Alright.
Since it's its turns right now, and that really won't apply beyond this. I forgot to hit Draken with that too. I have to remember to get you, Draken. Okay.
You don't have to.
Alligators don't know how to fear. They're too old for that.
Alright, so he's gonna lash out twice again. Once at Jimmy and once at Draken. He's gonna move 5 feet in the water. Staying alongside Draken. His insanely large form.
He too big.
So we go Jimmy, Draken.
Alright. Both of those miss, I think.
That's a
That's
fumble
a
on the
one.
last one. Yeah, it's a fumble on the last one. That did miss you, Jimmy?
I'm so busted, man.
No, that's good. That's good. He's hurting you guys. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, he was supposed to get advantage on that roll, wasn't he? I just remembered that. I'll tell you what. You want to count? Let's count this as the advantage roll. So the 19. What is the advantage?
Was the successful one.
Yeah. So he still missed you, and then we'll just roll one more time for Draken.
It's your game, bro.
Is that fair? Sound fair to you guys?
You have advantage on me.
Yep.
That's true. The advantage would have been on Draken and not me.
Oh, it's advantage on next attack.
Oh, next attack. All right.
Yeah, that was the exact wording. So this would be Draken. 18?
That will hit.
Ah, damn.
Okay.
Will it? Are you counting the +2 from haste?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm really big,
Yeah.
but I don't have much AC. But by the
Okay.
same token, I do have all the crocodile's hit points burn through before it even touches mine.
This is
Okay.
true.
That's the good stuff.
So that's 45. And then we need 2 con saves from you.
Alrighty.
You can use the Crocs con if you want.
Rather use my own.
I'll let you use your own if you want to. That's fine.
Alright.
I'm feeling generous. You got this. Oof, maybe not. Okay.
That's rough.
So yeah, that 45 damage is gonna stick to you. Till you long rest. Keep that in mind, okay?
That's on
That's
the crocodile form.
Yeah. So it's the Crocs HP. Because it's tracked separately than my own.
Well, the thing is it's turning your flesh necrotic.
It's not his flesh.
True, but would that shrug off effects like that?
This is one of those tricky questions. Let me check. The Sage's Compendium.
Good call. We'll see what the sages say and we'll make a call. That's fine.
That is a weird one.
Yeah.
Because
Because it's still your flesh, it's just changed. But at the same time, it could still shrug it off. So.
But like with hit points and stuff, once I lose all of them, I then start taking them from my actual one. So it's like I have the buffer, so it's weird. But
True.
let's see what they say. Worst case scenario, I'll just notate it.
We'll see what they say either way. But
yeah, on my sheet.
The other one was for the fear thing, so keep in mind you've got disadvantage on your next attacks and skills.
Okay.
You're feared.
I'm looking through. Okay, so it looks like it gets the same ruling as wild shaping. And it seems like physical effects do not carry over to the HP pool. Like, the specific example given is that disintegrate reducing you to 0 doesn't kill you instantly if you're in a beast form or altered.
Oh, wait. I was actually just looking myself. All conditions you have while polymorphed carry over in your normal form.
Ah,
Reverting does not get you any kind of... That's from D&D Beyond.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so this would be a condition. That's all right. Like I said, it's nothing horribly drastic. It's just you have to get a long rest in to heal.
We must attempt not to die.
Yes, please don't die. Okay. All right. Anything else for you, Draken? Sorry.
That wasn't my turn.
Oh,
that was yours.
That was my turn. That's right. Ratt, you're up. Sorry.
Right. The bit where you kill us.
Okay. I have a dumb idea.
Dumb ideas are good. What you got?
I've realized my dumb idea doesn't work.
What's your
Never
dumb
mind.
idea?
I wanted to turn all the water into steam.
That is going to suck for us also.
Some other less harmful vapor. Water has a gaseous state, right?
Steam.
Steam. Oh. Sorry, it's been a while since I did the
You can
chemistry.
You can turn the relative humidity of the room to be like 7,000%.
That might not be as great as I thought it would. So this having a 10-minute casting time still makes it bad idea.
Yeah, that's pretty slow.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Okay.
So,
No.
Good thinking.
You know, I try sometimes.
He did move a little closer to the surface.
I will hold an action to fire. Ooh. Spark bolt sounds fun.
Just launch a lightning bolt into the water directly.
Yes, directly by us.
You know, maybe that could work. No, I'll hold a ray of frost cantrip.
Okay.
Should the creature break the surface of the water.
All right. No worries.
Hint, knock back, throw him out of the water.
All right. All right, Draken, you are up finally. What do you want to do?
Alrighty, so I have disadvantage.
Yeah.
So
And he did hurt you.
did. I'm still taking a swing. Taking this thing down.
All right, go for it.
So,
Okay.
13. 13 bite.
So that just doesn't quite pierce. But look at this. Oh,
Well.
no. Well, you rolled 2. Oh, that was your
Struggling.
disadvantage.
Disadvantage for the tail. Got a 1.
We struggling.
We
Here,
So-
let me see here.
It's a 5 again.
Here, we're gonna try a little different here. Give me a D100.
That's a 60.
60. Okay. Target may re-roll 1s and 2s on the damage roll for the next successful melee attack against you.
Oh,
That's not pleasant, but
it's gonna hurt. Don't get hit.
yeah.
It's called costly mistake. That's all right.
Draken's still hasted, so
Yes,
Well,
you
hey,
are.
Sid, so bite again. That's gonna be a 9, so that's not gonna hit. And tail, 13 again.
All right. Not quite. You're thrashing around like crazy, though. The water's bubbling. It was a good attempt. All right. It's 2.
So, this thing is in the water, and we are. Is lashing out a tongue at people, which is really weird. I would like that not to be a thing. So let me see what I can do about that, because that is creepy. We know where it is, right? Like we have an idea of.
But you can see the water frothing where the giant golden alligator is thrashing around. So you kind of.
Does the alligator have the thing in its grasp, or?
You're not sure. Like the water is still very obscured, so you can't really see any detail. You have a general idea where everything's going down, though.
I have a general idea.
Yeah, not enough to pick out individuals, but you know where the fight is happening.
like at the end of all the thrashing, you could probably guess that the opponent is about right there, considering that Draken is a giant golden alligator and would definitely be in melee range trying to bite him and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And legitimately, I am huge size. So I don't know what that is. 20 feet across?
You can always dive in.
I have a question.
What's that?
So I have this spell, which gives me a crown of. Well, that's the globe. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Freezing sphere is the wrong spell. I meant this one.
I was about to say that. That's going to be an
most-
interesting one.
Motes of light appear and orbit my head until the spell ends, and I can use a bonus action to send one of them.
Radiant. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I'm wondering that if the motes shed dim light,
It says they
If-
shed bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30.
because it's a self range, it has to be around me, right?
The light, yeah.
Okay. See, the only way for them to be
Are-
able to see what they're doing is
Are you
to be
trying
able
to light up the area?
Yes.
So, if you have continual light,
Mhm.
you can cast that on an object.
I don't have the light cantrip, no. I have Ray of Frost, Chill Touch, Mage Hand,
Okay, I was
Acid
just going to
Splash,
say.
Firebolt, Minor Illusions. I don't know.
Yeah, the light spell you can actually cast on an object like a coin and throw it in the water.
Didn't take it.
Hmm.
Polymorph?
You know
I
that
did
Crown
that.
of Stars. Okay, range spell attack. It doesn't say you have to be able to see the creature.
Yeah, I'm concerned about everyone being like, well, I don't want to hit the huge alligator or crocodile because I can't see. He's so big, and this thing is just creepy. You know, I don't want to
Hey.
get off in there, but ranged has its disadvantages too. So, like, if we
Well,
could,
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't say you have to be able to see your target, so you could just make a disadvantaged ranged spell attack.
yeah, but then we're just shooting into the dark, and this thing can see us, and we can't see it.
That's
Yeah.
true facts. You would have basically as much risk as I did stabbing it around you.
Yeah.
But if I went in there, everyone could see, and we wouldn't have disadvantage.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Hey, come on down if you want to take some damage too. Apparently, there's plenty to go around.
Hmm.
Get crazy. Come on, you got this.
Crown of Stars is not concentration.
No. Strangely, it's not.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this up. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the Crown of Stars. Have everyone see that I have a light source. Look around and be like, if I could get in there safely, then you guys can see.
You
I
still
can
got
polymorph on my next turn, and
you still got your gills, don't you? From
Probably.
alter self.
that's not concentration either. Yeah, it is concentration. Yeah,
Is it? Okay, so you gave that up.
I probably would have panicked and dropped it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna jump in with the Crown of Stars?
I'm gonna cast Crown of Stars on my action for this turn, and tell the party that I could be an effective source of light to remove the darkness and murkiness of the water that we're trying to attack this thing in, so you could actually see what you're doing
Okay.
if I can get down there, and let that information be known.
Okay, but you're not jumping in.
Not right now, as there may be other alternative methods for getting me within a range to light the area effectively without being attacked.
Okay, good deal. All right then, Bryn, you're up.
All right, so first Bryn is going to get a spirit tail.
Okay.
Okay, let me check these two real quick. Always forget, like, because I have a general idea of what they do.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Avenger sounds cool.
Yeah, Avenger is 1 minute. Any creature that hits the target with a melee attack takes force damage equal to a roll of your bardic inspiration die. And Mindbender is the That doesn't say that you should be able to see it.
Go for it.
Honestly, though, I think. Do I want to give it like 1d12 every time someone hits either Jimmy or Draken, or do I want to go for like one attempt at 3d12? Party.
How long would the first option last?
1 minute.
That's probably better.
Yeah, it's trying to hit twice per turn.
Yeah.
Okay, that only goes on one target. So, because I can probably see Draken, just be nice, I'm going to put it on Draken, so, boop, you got that.
There we go.
Makes good sense.
All right. Very good. Anything else?
And that's it. That's all my things, unless I just wanted to move, and Brenda's not. She is happy on top of her vat.
All right. Jimmy, you're up.
Okay. Well, we've determined that 20 feet is not quite enough range.
You are still in the range of its
tentacles. Yes.
Of its aura as well.
Yeah, I don't expect to be able to escape the aura. That's just its own whole thing. But it's up against Draken right now, and it seems reluctant to swim too far away lest it be taken attacks of opportunity. I would like to swipe at it and then swim basically so that it is between Draken and I, out to the furthest extent that I can manage with my cunning action, disengage sort of swimming maneuver.
All right. Well, let's see. He's 5 feet up at this point from the bottom. So there's 10 feet between him and the surface.
Okay.
Unless you go outward, like laterally.
Lateral was my plan.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to be between them vertically. I would like a top-down view, such that the goal here is that it cannot reposition within Draken's range to simply reach me at the current known range of its tentacle lash, which is at least 20 foot.
Okay. Yeah. It's 15-foot range.
Okay.
He's got, so that's fine. That's why he took that 5-foot step up.
Had to take the move.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess Jimmy would have noticed that.
Okay.
He's gonna slash. He's gonna cunning action disengage, and he's gonna be 20 foot away, opposite side of Draken, so that it would have to abandon its position to attack both of us.
All right. Go for it.
And I don't have disadvantage this time, I think, because I made my con check last round.
Yes, that is correct.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Didn't help.
Fail.
All right, so.
Do you have anything that counts as a crit fail?
Not for that, sadly. At least I don't think so.
Right, let's do a D100.
Here we go.
The dice have suddenly turned on you guys.
Holy shit.
Wow. Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh no.
Have we done that before?
Your attack. You must have just caught this thing's suit just right as you came down, and it ricochets off and hits yourself. Oh, apply maximum critical damage to yourself as if you had hit your target.
Wait a second, what did I miss?
Do I have to sneak attack damage myself?
Jimmy just stabbed himself.
You can
real bad.
Skip the sneak attack damage.
Yeah, because I don't think I'm allowed to get sneak attack on myself.
Yeah, no, just skip this. Just Basically, we'll call it a, since it said max crit damage,
It's
just
2d8 maxed, so 16,
16.
plus my mod.
there you go. We will just go with that. I'm not gonna punish you with max crit sneak damage.
Yo, I would
Yeah.
die. Do you have any idea how much that is?
That's a lot. Yeah.
Oops, Jimmy accidentally stabbed himself in the heart.
Directly through the heart.
Oh my goodness.
Turns out he was actually still using that.
So then you'll disengage.
Yeah, then I'll disengage. Since I didn't burn my... Actually, no, I already know Bolts from the Grave is ineffective. It resists or is immune to necrotic.
True.
I take my damage and I take my position at a hopefully safe distance.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. All right.
Damn. Okay, everybody try not to roll hundreds.
He's gonna turn around and put his attention on you, Draken. Since you're the big target.
Okay.
But that may work in your favor since you have that effect on you.
Yeah.
Let's see. How many rounds has it been since we started?
This is 4,
I
wanna
think it's
say?
4, yeah.
Including the sneak round?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. In that case, Draken, here we go. 1, 2. Jeez.
They both will hit.
Okay, so let me roll that damage.
Go ahead. Actually, just go ahead and give me max. What was it? Max damage? I'll be
12.
nice.
24 damage.
24 total, okay. Alright. Draken, how are you doing? Does that knock you out of your form?
It should. See that? 50,
Slap, slap.
which that first one knocks me back into dragon form.
Okay. Now, if we carry over the damage, like we said with the necrotic, how are you doing in dragon form?
So the necrotic damage, not the full.
Yeah, just carry over the necrotic damage.
Do the math. I should be fine. I have more hit points as a dragon than I did as a giant.
I kind of figured. Okay. I was just making sure you're not dying yet.
No,
Okay.
because the necrotic from the previous one was 33.
Okay. Yeah, because you made one save, I think. Yeah, go ahead and make your saves again, too. All 3 of them.
Shouldn't be, I think. Saves are.
I don't think you have disadvantage on the con
No.
saves.
No, so take that 20.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
20.
the first roll.
15 and 20.
Okay. Sadly, none of those made it.
That's unfortunate. Am I in the aura as well? Do you need one from me?
You are 20 feet away. Yeah.
Right.
So, okay. Draken. 13 psychic. And Jimmy, 16 psychic.
You got it.
You guys are shook once more.
How y'all looking on health?
Well, let's see. 10. I'm doing math.
That's never good.
Yeah, when you gotta do math to figure out that question, it's not a good look.
Because, I mean, you gotta reduce your hit point maximum by 37, 32, and, like, the 30 whatever you took in croc form.
So, after he smacks the 2 of you, he pushes off Draken with his feet in dragon form.
Ooh.
And skirts away. Draken, you are welcome to take an attack of opportunity if you'd like. in dragon form.
I'm gonna let it go.
Okay. So yeah, he goes off actually with remarkable speed through the water, quickly disappearing out of sight into the murky depths beyond, back the way you came from.
Fantastic.
And the answer to your question is a strong breeze will kill me right now.
Yeah.
I only took like 60 points of damage, but my hit point total is significantly it's not quite there yet, but it is much lower than it would be otherwise.
So yeah, he's escaped, and you'll probably see him again.
Oh, no doubt. My favorite thing about this guy is if he kills you, you're just actually dead.
Yeah.
Because your hit point maximum is reduced to 0.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from that.
He's nasty. He's nasty. But I wanted to give you guys something scary.
Congratulations, you succeeded.
Yes.
But I did kind of expect for him to escape too. You guys got him down a little over half.
I figured with all the healing he was doing.
Yeah. Oh no, that's not even including the healing.
Ah, shit. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that.
And you know that saving throw master miss passed in the sneak attack round?
Yeah.
That was for I probably shouldn't share this, but I can't help it myself. That was for this. Or no, that was you, Jimmy, he hit with that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he hit you with that.
Ooh, yeah. $4d12. This is what we get for being high level.
Yes. So, if you're wondering what happened to the crew when they turned, from
One
the
of them
captains,
turned into this, and then it ate all of them.
But no, almost all of them turned into this. This is one.
There's more than one of these?
Yes. They're not in large groups. Don't worry. But there is more than one of these.
Okay. Maybe I get to shoot the next one.
Yeah, they're not aquatic either. He just happened to catch this one in the water. He doesn't need to breathe, so
I feel that.
he's just floating down there, and you guys went swimming by. He's like, oh, lunch.
That's why Bryn didn't go swimming.
I'm glad Is2 went swimming. I really am. They really made my night by allowing me to get that lovely little sneak attack off.
And I would have carried you next.
I think it's great, though. No, this made my night. I was really hoping. Really hoping.
want to throw this guy at us.
I was just going to teleport you all to the other end of the hallway, and then he said it was 100 feet long, and I went, damn, I can only do 90 feet.
It's so funny, though, because I don't know if it actually had the effect I intended, but I put those little, like, kind of weak, easy-to-find traps and the weird, just gross corpses in your way just to kind of, I don't know, give you that false sense of, well, this isn't
security.
That bad.
I have one small bit of feedback.
What you got?
I think you underestimate the joy in your voice when you asked if I wanted to swim.
Was it that obvious?
Can't hide.
She does have a point.
I am not as bad at reading people as I pretend to be.
I have tells. I do. But at the same time, as I always tell you guys, my goal is not to kill the party. If it happens because the dice happen, it happens, but that's not my goal. I mean, I could have just kept pouring on with this fight, probably ended up taking at least one of you out. But I like... Poor Draken.
I'm single digit.
Yeah.
I
But
came very close.
at the same
Yeah.
time, like, the fact that he could come back, I think, is going to probably do more damage in the long term. Knowing he's out there and has a taste for you already.
Yeah, Bryn would have lost the two people she cares most about in life, and in Jimmy's case, like, is in love with. So, yeah, she would have had a very, very, very rough time.
Oh yeah, being very far away from home too.
Yeah, and she's only here for Jimmy.
It's true.
I have a lot of tricks in my sleeves to avoid dying when I die, but that combination of effects would have given me a real run for my money.
I think you guys still have a wish on you somewhere too, don't you?
Well,
I don't think so, no. Draken used the wish scroll.
That's right.
That's a scroll. He's like, he's got level like 9 spells. He's
No, we
just
don't.
got a wish.
No, we
Yeah.
don't. Mm-mm.
Not yet.
No,
Not
we're
yet.
Soon.
16. 17
level.
is when we get 9th level.
yeah,
He's almost there.
we got some bullshit, right? So I've got Kion's
There's
lantern.
one. I've got a fun idea too for that.
Oh.
I've got Talisman of Life Preserving,
Oh yeah, that's a good trick.
and I've got 2 separate bullshit things to do with being the revived that would help me avoid dying when dying.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about with those.
Yeah, but
Just because of Kintsugi.
exactly, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
But man, no, that's a nasty effect.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, strictly from an academic standpoint, did you like the fused Echo?
I love the guy. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm picking up some big like Mr. X vibes, like Resident Evil 2 sort of deal.
Yeah, stars. Good, good. I'm always trying to come up with ways to challenge you at these high levels and still make it scary.
Feeling
Congratulations.
it, man. Feeling it.
Good,
You succeeded.
Good, good. And I've actually expanded on the Haruspex' layout a good bit.
Okay.
This has all just been one hallway. So.
Map in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Eh?
I hope. It's a lot to map, but I've got a layout in my mind at least for available places you could go and that type of thing, because there's a lot of damage in here, which helps me narrow down the size a little bit too. But I will say this, I promise you're not terribly far from the med bay, because I know Saren was trying to get you there.
Yeah.
So you're,
And now Bryn's probably not the only person who's going to be needing it. But I mean, she is, as soon as Jimmy and Draken pops out of the water, she's going to be healing them.
well, keep in mind that necrotic that they failed the saves on, the heals won't affect.
Oh, that reminds me. Who came out of the water first?
Istu.
What? Istu wasn't in the water.
Istu was the first one in the water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
No,
I thought
mean,
that...
like at the end there, like last round, I was holding a ray of frost.
Oh, we're not out of the
broke
water yet.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We ended the session. We were still under.
they haven't surfaced yet.
All right.
But the leeching lash, it doesn't stop them from regaining hit points. It just won't heal their hit point maximum.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It reduces their maximum hit point, so
Yeah.
they can't heal past that damage.
Right, but Bryn's still going to heal up whatever damage they
Oh yeah, the
took
blood.
up until they're artificially reduced hit points. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yes.
No worries.
Poor Draken. He's got like 12 hit points left.
Well,
Exactly.
here, real quick, we can keep chatting, but let me
4 hit points.
let me say goodnight. 4 hit points. Wow, that was close.
That was
It
really
was.
close.
That was really
Holy
close.
shit.
Single
More than you
digit.
need. It's 3 more than you need.
Well, also, I never got the lesser restoration to bring my COD score back up.
Oh shit.
It's actually greater restoration, and technically Bryn does have that if we can get it's like 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust.
I think we.
Oh, you need diamond dust. Okay, let me just find some carbon in 10 minutes.
We can get that. Well, here, ladies and gentlemen who tuned in and watched, thank you very much. I hope you had a good time. I'm sorry we've been gone for so long. We're back in rotation, so definitely don't miss it. I think this next Friday we have Star Wars,
Yes.
and then
Supposedly Star Wars is coming. Are we on Avatar?
Avatar,
Should
I
be,
believe,
yeah.
should be on
Avatar
Tuesday.
should be on Tuesday.
Yes.
I will say there's some very interesting things in the pipeline for Featherfall.
Yeah, what happens Wednesdays?
That will be revealed soon. I'm not permitted to say just yet. It's all good stuff. Don't worry.
Oh, Wednesday secret hype.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. These are big changes coming, but good changes, so no worries.
Air horn sound effects.
But yeah, we will be back next Saturday, of course, with the continuation of World of Cairn, which I hope took an interesting turn.
Yes.
So definitely don't miss that, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.